Hey, I want to thank y'all for tapping in. I'm the ambassador, and we are live and unscript, and I have my man D2Shifty from Vegas, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on? Appreciate you for having
What's
me.
up? Hey, man, before we get into all the questions and all of that, I want you to give a little brief background or explanation. Who are you? Who is D Shifty?
D250. My name is Darrien Randolph. Just born and raised in Vegas. Been playing basketball since like 3. Ever since I could just get up and walk. I had a ball in my hands at an early age. Just been. I started in the park as well too. I grew up playing just against all the older guys. My dad had me playing against all the older kids. Getting punked around, stuff like that. Had to get that little dog in me, keep going, and then ended up playing my first year, organized high school freshman year. Just played along through the years, and then now I'm just trying to put out my message, just do my thing, just keep showcasing, doing what I'm doing. It's going pretty good.
Okay,
Got
man.
a,
I'm gonna have some questions for you, and then like I said, it's unscripted, so I'm gonna have random. I'm gonna throw stuff at you. You know what I mean? And like we had me and you text back and forth, and I told you like this was gonna be like one of my special podcasts, just because of personal reason. You know what I mean? Because my own son, for all of those who follow me and who knows me, they know about my son Tank, and my son Tank was born with hydrocephalus, so he's a savant. He's a genius as far as musically, but you know what I mean. Outside of that, you know folks begin to, categorize, say, okay, you're disabled, and they treat you different, right? And so, uh, being able to talk to you, that those are some of the questions. Well, one of them is you have a prosthetic leg. So, what? How did that all come about? Were you born with a birth defect, or did it have an accident?
yeah, I was born with it. I'm still getting educated on it myself. As
Okay.
I'm learning more on it every day. But from what I know, it's called amniotic band syndrome, and it happened with like my fingers. My pinky
Okay.
ring, my hands. I started off in like casts, and then along the way as I grew, new prosthetics and stuff like that. Didn't always have the best prosthetics growing up, just because I'm not a normal case. A lot of people don't have as much leg or like as much as I do. If
Okay.
that makes sense, a lot of people get, usually get amputated or their birth defects start from the knee or maybe the thigh. Mine's just a little more complicated case, but it was started early though. That's what I'm grateful for sure.
Okay, man. Like, and one of the questions that I did have for you, which is the idea of the mental, I would say the mental toughness, right? Because of the fact that growing up and going through life, and you have this disability, and it makes things life harder, right? Because folks judgmental, things like that. What was it, or what is it, or how did you overcome that?
Um, I will say it wasn't easy for sure. I give a lot of credit to my parents, just for sure, just not letting me give in to like all of that. They always tried to keep me confident. I'm not I'm not like the other kids. I'm better in a way
Yeah,
where we're all just the same. We're all human. So, I always kind of had that in me. I was still did feel the way growing up. 'Cause, you obviously you get bullied. Kids think
right,
funny and stuff, but that's why basketball is more so like where I feel normal at, because it's like I'm supposed to be at a disadvantage, but yet I'm doing it better than a lot of people with what they're supposed to have, really. So
really.
that's I think that's why it's a real connection with basketball in a way. It keeps me like the same as everybody else, you would call it. So just especially with this with me promoting my social media and trying to get my message out and all this stuff, and having the people telling me I'm inspiring them and just seeing the people that I'm helping. A lot of people need to hear. what I got to tell them. I feel like I feel like it'll really help them get people on their feet.
And what's your tagline? I love it. I want you to say it. What's your tag?
What's your excuse?
Right?
Uh, And if I ask you what's your excuse, it's not a lot of answers you should really give me, to be honest.
No, I love it. You know what I mean? When we was talking and you told me, I was like, no, that is real talk. Really, what is your excuse? Because you out here, you're hooping, hooping. You know what I mean? And and that's another reason why I wanted to bring you on and thank you for being a guest. Because, like I said, when I saw your video, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. You know what I mean? I'm like, he's hooping it to get, prosthetic leg. I couldn't tell. You know what I
I
mean?
appreciate it.
No, you're welcome, man. And that's something that is very encouraging and inspiring. And so I wanted to help you to tell your story, not only help you to tell your story, but even there is other achievements that you would like to reach, and so I think that that's something that I want to, in any kind of way that I can support, that you have my support, right?
And it
And
means a lot. All my supporters, I tell them all the time. I don't. I used to, before all of this, before I had my message clear and ready to, go chase. People, even as a kid, even from a kid, people always be telling me how inspiring I am, and I wouldn't really get it. I always appreciate it, but I wouldn't really take it and run with it in a way. So now when I hear it, it's just more motivation. Like when I seen like the effect that I can have and how real it actually is with people like seeing my message and really appreciating my message, it makes me want to keep going. So it all
yeah,
means a lot.
no, and like you said, it's very inspirational. How did you break out on the scene, right? I
Oh
was
yeah.
it. How did that happen?
Crazy story, really. Like, I was just getting ready to go to a prep school in Georgia. I was getting ready to leave town, and shout out to Devontae Friga, a big YouTuber,
Okay.
watching for some years. He came out to Las Vegas for a park takeover, and I was adding ball dogs, and I added their account. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to pop out. Like, y'all look out for me because I'm not real exposed. A lot of people know about me, except in my area. Like a lot of I went to Foothill High School, so a lot of friends in my area, they know what I could do. But it's a lot. It's a big world. I need more people to know. So I ended up going to this takeover, and I introduced myself. And Dwight Howard was here as well. This is
Oh
special guest
wow.
Dwight Howard. I got to meet him and talk with him a little bit too. So he ended up. I told him I introduced myself to him. Just told him, I'm just trying to get a chance like everybody else. With you or against you, whatever it is. He picked me up on the big team with the stars and stuff, and I went on his video, got a bucket, and another guy, shout out Anthony Hamilton. I just introduced myself to him as well, and he's a dunker. He used to do track and stuff. He's a high jumper pretty much, and
Okay.
I talked to him and I told him, I said, let me dunk for you. He was like, let me dunk for you. He's like, okay, bet. Like, we got it on the video or whatever. And then went and showed him. And next thing you know, I wake up to him just giving me my first steps to the door. He was
Oh
just telling
wow.
me, and you got a crazy story. You got to go get it. He posted, tagged me with it. And then we did 1.1 million. And then from there, just been having people just like, people reaching out and meeting new people like you and a lot of supporters. So just going from there.
Wow. Wow.
Uh,
So what is your, I would say, your goal, right? What are some of your goals now? Because I would think at one point, not to say, I can't say if it changed, you'll be able to answer, but at one point maybe you was looking at, like most kids, we always want to play in the league, right? When you start, and then things happen. So was that your goal, to play in the league? And if so, is that still your focus, or have it changed?
You know, of course, it was the league was the main goal for sure, and then, my family, you will try to support me, and they'll let me know, like, it's not always just about playing in the league. You could
Yeah.
do sports medicine, you could coach, you could train, you could. It's a lot of
Yep.
positions I feel, and I'm like, nah, I gotta play. Like, what y'all talking? I'm not doing no coaching. I'm not doing. I need to play. But after high school, I didn't play my. I ended up playing my senior year. I didn't get to play, and after that, it was a real tough feeling because that would have been a good breakout year for me at Foothill, and I was real confused and not sure on what and how I was going to keep going with the basketball stuff. And eventually, when I got my goals clear and like started listening to the supporters that I already didn't know that I had,
Okay.
now I'm like, okay, I could really go inspire people. And then on top of that, I'm an actual hooper. I could still,
Yeah.
I could look forward to college or overseas or any possible opportunities that come my way. Because, like I said, I'm for any challenge. Really, like this is if I'm gonna do it all the way, whatever it is. So that's pretty much my goals now. I just need to inspire people. Prove myself right. Do something that's usually not done every day. Just
Yeah.
kind of keep going with it. Want to be
Yeah.
worldwide today.
Man, like you said, and that's one of the things that I'm thankful. I get to do events. You know, you, you know what I would like to do. Have you played in the Isaiah Thomas tournament? Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've seen it. There's some dogs in there for sure.
So, Lord willing, I'll be back in it. I've been in it for the past, I don't know how many years. One of the teams that we get invited, and God has blessed me. I took second, I think like my first or second year, and I took fourth. You know what I mean? I've always placed, and they show me a lot of love. And I plan on going back this summer, and I would love to have you to come out and be on my squad. I think that'd be a great experience for you to network, to inspire so many people. I would love to be able to meet you personally, and even my kids. I have a lot of youth in my program, and you know what I mean. While you're here, we can do something with them if it's a training camp or something. But I think that's what I want to do. I want to invite you to be on my team for the Zeke end. It's normally the first weekend of August. So
Birthday month.
okay, so you know what I mean. So happy early birthday! What I would like to do, and of course, we're going to continue to keep talking and building a relationship. Our relationship outside of the camera, but I definitely want to have you to come up and play. And that's one thing that I try to do too. I like to encourage and inspire and really get behind players like yourself. And I think like last year, I was fortunate enough to work with some of the big name street ball players, like Baby Shaq and Bone Collector, Ballaholic. Uh, Brought them over. Had a player from Italy that played, I think, the real street ball. So we had a bunch of people that came from all over, and it was something that hadn't been done, and it was amazing. You know what I mean? Just an experience, and I like to do that. And I think by bringing you out and letting you just show the world, just continue to show the world, because you're already doing it now. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like you said, you got a million plus people that already seen, but I would love to be able to coach you, you know what I mean, in that tournament. So that's my offer to have you to come and play with me in the Zeke. That's the first weekend of August. So
That
yeah.
sounds great. It's real funny too. Like coincidentally, like when I was going viral, Isaiah Thomas even showed some love on my post. So like
Oh wow.
he's actually seen me before too. That's kind of funny. I've seen his tournament before, but this was a couple months after I went viral, like a month after his tournament last year, last September. So
Okay.
and we
So
went back in that circle.
wow.
But yeah,
No, this is, you know what I mean, just one of those that just even blow my mind, just how God put pieces and
I'm
things
telling
together, you know what I mean?
you,
So for
right here.
you're right, for you to say that, and now here it is, we're talking. I'm like, yep, this summer, this year, you'll get to meet him personally, you know what I mean, and get to play in this tournament and be able to play. Well, I don't know who they gonna match us up, what NBA stars or whatever, but you'll get to do your thing, and I think that that's gonna be great. You know what I mean, a great experience, and even and we're gonna continue to talk, as you say, you want the possibility of overseas opportunities and things like that. And that's one of the things that God has blessed me with, relationships and being able to do tours. You know what I mean? So I do tours and take players who are looking to go pro and allow them to play in front of coaches and GMs, you know what I mean, for that opportunity to get a
I think
contract. So,
cut out a little bit.
oh, okay. Am I back? Am I back? Let's see, can you hear me? Yeah, no. Hopefully.
Hello?
Uh oh. About to say thank you for okay, there we go. So can you hear me now? We're good. D2. Yeah, I think you might have froze, my man. Let's see. There you go. Can you hear me? D2. Can you hear me? Back from the back. Let's see. Have a little problems with the internet.
Lost connection.
See, I'm about to say I should be okay. Okay. Join it back. Okay, sounds good.
There you go.
Oh wait.
There you go.
You back?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay. Okay. So no, I was like, so yes, no, this is gonna be good. So oh, I was going back and I was saying that, of course, I do tours as well, right? So I
Yeah.
know I do tours. I take players overseas and do things like that and give them opportunity to play in front of coaches against other pro players and GMs. And so that'll be something that you and I
Uh,
will continue to talk about so I can get you on one of those trips with me as well. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
100%.
Like I said, that's something I'm behind you. I love your message. I love, I mean, your dog. It's one of those like I'm known for scouting and looking for real hoopers, and that's the thing, right? So it's one of those like you're a dog. You're a real hooper. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh well, let me just do this for a good story. No, you really got talent, and so it's pretty
I
dope.
appreciate that.
Yo, you welcome a man to be able to, you know what I mean, be a part of your journey and your life as we go down here. So August, we're gonna start you out here, get you to Washington, play in the Isaiah Thomas tournament, and then we'll definitely continue to look and see what other overseas opportunities that I can get you on as well. So I want okay, what is go back to questions. What is your most memorable moment thus far since you've been playing?
Um, I think I'm gonna just take it back to the takeover. To be honest, my breakout day. I've had a lot of good moments before. Like, you know, it was what was unreal about it, and just what like gets me is just I I used to watch the people on YouTube. Like a lot of the people that I met that day and that I got to speak with, and the kids I got to take pictures with, and just introduce myself to. But like a lot of the YouTubers I used to watch, like I've been watching them for years. Like just
Okay.
imagining myself, like wishing one day, like man, I like before I had the vision, it's like man, I'm gonna never like, not like doubting myself in a way, but I guess like I just would never think that I would be on the same court, playing on the same team, in the same video as these people. And
Right.
like I'm looking at these people who I feel like are way better than me, who would never give me a shot, and then when I meet them, they tell me I'm inspiring them, and it's like unreal to hear. And it's like seeing the effect that I have on people who already are ahead and doing their journey and living their dream. They're still coming back to someone who's upcoming and telling me that I'm getting them going, and it feels good. So it shows that like I might have a lot of potential with this, and it makes me real confident about it. And this is the clearest I ever felt about it too. Is just all the support I've been getting, and just the vision I have, and the opportunities like these that I'm getting is just all the stuff that's gonna keep me working and going for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and like we mentioned before, this is the first of many podcasts and interviews that you're gonna be on, and I'm thankful to be the first one. I can at least say
Yeah,
that. I can be
first
like, yo,
podcast. Yeah, for sure.
right?
Shout out to Ambassador. Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know what I mean? Because I already know that as more people see you, they, your phone, you know what I mean? You're gonna be inspiring so many people, and folks are gonna want to be pulling, and are you ready for that part, right? So that's another part where it's like, and I know, thank God, you have a good family around you, because that's it's gonna take all of that, because that's the other part. Everybody want to get to that place where we would say, in a sense, you're famous, or you're on this big platform, but also what comes with it, it's a lot, not only responsibility, but a lot of people pulling and wanting things. And so are you ready? Because you're blowing up fast. It ain't going to take long. Trust, it's going to
Yeah.
be.
I mean, realistically, like, I've always been up to the challenge, and I have no choice but to be ready. Like, I can't let it slip. I seen, like, part of me being humble is just realizing how fast it could all go away. I've seen people
Yeah.
just completely lose it all in a matter of a snap of a finger. So I try to stay ready and humble about it, and just so I could be ready for all the new challenges that come.
Man, you say you're 19.
Yeah.
Wow, like, kudos, shout out to your parents. I mean, just your mindset and just where you at. It's that's amazing. You know what I mean? I don't get to meet young men like yourself, especially at 19. I've worked with, I mean, as in their 40s, 30s, 40s, 20s, you know what I mean, grown men that I'm like, I don't know, and so and to talk to you, and to see where you're at. And like I said, your stage is going to be huge. How did you get the nickname D2Shifty? Who gave you that?
Well, I made it really
Okay.
like I mean, like, people call me D, like, like my dad, he was D. So when I was younger as a kid playing, they'll call me Little D. Then
Okay.
eventually, as I started getting bigger and older and stuff like that, people call me D. So that was my coaches, they'll call me D or whatever. So just D. And then my first jersey, because I played my first organized year, freshman year, was 22. And
Okay.
I just took the two from there. And like my dad from 219, then my mom, she got two in her Instagram. So I was like, okay, like D2, and I'm shifty, some would say. So I'll put that in there too. Just put it all together,
Okay.
and it just
Now,
went from there. Yeah, pretty much just, I didn't, like, I never looked at it from like a business name. Like, that was just my Instagram. I never, that was just an Instagram username. Really,
oh,
I never looked
wow.
at it as like brand. I never thought about branding it, or, like I said, none of this was a clear vision to me until just recent times. So now it's like, when I'm introducing myself to certain people, like, I'm D2 Shifty now. So I try to been owning it, you know, like, that's
Yeah.
why.
No, I love it. You know what I mean? I love the name. I was just wondering, how you got it, and the fact that you're already on the mindset of business now. That's the good part, right? Is understanding you now a product. And so how to brand yourself, and looking at all of those aspects from, you got a slogan, you got the catchy name.
Yeah,
So what is what is, I guess, your strength? I'm gonna take this from my guy. I think was it Kendo? Yes, I think it might have been Kendo on the unit. But he had asked the question. He said, "What is?" No, no, it was my man Zobi One. That's who said it. And he asked, oh my gosh, 28 Tato. He said, "What is his strength and his weakness?" So I'm gonna ask you that. What is your when it comes to your game? What would you say the strength and then the weakness?
my game. So a real strength of mine is just that I learned from my dad. Actually, it's just slow down. A lot of guys my age, like, play a lot. They play real fast, or they want to
Yeah.
jump, stuff like that. Like, my generation, we could jump for sure. I be seeing some crazy stuff for sure. So I see that, and I just try to move with pace and just be a lot slower, so I could, like, read everything for sure, instead of just
Okay.
taking. I just take my time. I usually make the right plays when I do that. Then weakness, just I need to get my shot right. I just need to get my shot just on that lethal level. Like, shout out Lethal Shooter too. He tapped in. He showed some love on my videos before too.
Wow.
Tried to get in with him too, but if I get my shot right, I can get to the basket for sure. Like, I can get to the basket, but if I had my shot too, that would be crazy for sure.
No,
But
that
it's all
that
right. I'm working on it though. Like, I got to get in the gym. That's all it is.
that's it. Because I'm about to say that opens. It does open up your game once you get that jump shot. It opens it up. Now they trying to
Yeah,
come. Then you blow
it'll be
by.
bad for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Right. So, who do you train or work out? What do you do? How do you work on your game? Who you
Well,
work with?
realistically, I still got a regular life. Like, I got to go to work, stuff like that. I have other
Okay.
responsibilities and stuff. So whenever I do go get some work, like, it really just, I got to go to the runs. Like, whenever I can get to the runs, just try to get there. Like, sometimes whenever I have time or the gyms around me be open, I can go get in, just get some shots up maybe. But it's really just what I do. I just go around playing. If I got some own time, I'll just dribble a ball, just go to the park. But once I gotta work on my time management for sure, so now I can get in the gym a lot longer. Like start training a lot harder. I just recently said that too. Like just part of me going up is just making me more motivated. Not even like video standpoint, just even with my game. Like there's certain guys that I've been around recently now. Like when they come to the park, guys is like, oh man, like we gotta play against him. Like we gotta play him. They know what's about to happen. Like I'm gonna be like when I pull up, I want them to know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Feel like
Right.
I ain't there yet though, for sure. Too
Six.
much room for
You
improvement.
you 6'1"?
Yeah, about 6'1", six
About
two.
6'1", 6'2".
Yeah,
Nice size. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
decent. Try to work with it for sure. Just everybody can box out, no matter what height you is, so it's fine. I had to learn that early.
Yeah. No, I mean your game. I mean, did your dad hoop?
Yeah, for sure. My dad, man. He was real good for sure.
Okay.
He said he grew up around some familiar and one guys and been at runs before with players like Jamal Crawford and things like that.
Okay.
He would of course tell me to slow down because he used to be a pretty good dunker himself. He had a good package, but injuries come a lot earlier for him when he was in that age because he didn't slow down and stuff like
Okay.
that. That's why he kind of installed that in me early. And I just picked up on it for sure. So he was definitely good though too, and it's kind of fun showing him like the new side of like the hoop world too because he grew up with and like the tapes and just have to
Yeah.
be at the park to see it kind of things, and now we got the internet, all these ways of putting our clips out. So for sure, I'm enjoying.
Yeah. No, that is true. Yeah, back in our days, yeah, we didn't have all of the
You got to
technology.
be at the park to see it. Like
Right.
yeah,
Right, and so no, that's a good part. I mean, like you said, just your dad being able to really give you game because like you said, being at that age, I mean, I do see a lot of players because I also coach high school, I'm coach all levels, but I'm currently a high school coach as well. And that's one of the things too, you're constantly trying to tell players slow down. You know what I mean? Just slow down. So having that mindset, like I said, one of the things, you're very mature for your age. You know what I mean? Even the way you think about the game, and that's one of the things. IQ sets you apart from so. Yeah, I mean that's a game that right there, a
yeah.
deal breaker,
You can't
right?
ignore players like Jokic or like Luca. Like they are no types of fast, but
Right.
it be happening, sure.
Right, just understanding the game, know when to make a play, how to move, and things like that. Where man, you have a long career just off of your IQ alone.
Yeah.
Because think about
LeBron.
athletic,
Yeah.
right? Right. So who was your favorite player in the league?
Oh, it's Steph Curry for sure. Like, just apparently with a person needing a shot, like Curry's is one to have, an
Yeah.
unbelievable one to have for sure. And but like outside of him though, like I like Shea's game for sure. Like, there's a couple players I try to model. Like, he moves real pace.
Okay.
Like I like playing like that. Just look real hard to guard. Like good midi game. That stuff I work on.
Okay. Okay. Street
Yeah.
ball. So is there who is your, I guess, street ball player you may try to imitate or model your game after?
Well, I guess it's a big mix of them. Like, cause I really like I don't really do too many street ball moves, but the ones I
Okay.
do or like do know, I got from my dad, cause they either got it from him, so he say, or however they want to do that. I just
Right.
seen it from all of them. So it's some stuff in the bag. Like that's why it's kind of fun playing at the parks, and I can still go do like real events at the gym. So
Okay.
like I like playing. I like both worlds of it for sure.
Okay. So let me see. You're in Vegas. Let me see. Do you have anything coming up? Or are you gonna be at any runs or anything?
Yeah, I mean, shout out Above the Rim basketball. They just reached out to me about a 3v3 tournament this upcoming Saturday.
Okay.
Um, they said they want to sponsor me. It's my first sponsored park event ever. It meant a lot to me, even though all the following may not be big or anything like that. I like their work, and like I said, I'm not too big for nobody, nothing like that. I'm all for the community, so I'm looking forward to the event coming up this Saturday. They want to sponsor me, do an interview and stuff like that, so I look forward to it for sure. But and I always have my men's leagues game now, and just other than that, just going to the runs, getting my videos up, just my daily go.
Okay. Okay. So, because I'm like, what is this? This is May, June, July, August. So by August, you gotta get the mid range. You gotta have the shot right. You know what I mean?
No, I'm gonna be in the gym for sure. I got something to prove for sure. That's a big
Right.
stage.
Yeah, no, it really is, and that's why I know you're gonna do great. You know what I mean on it. That's why I'm thankful for the opportunity to be a part of it because, like I said, to even as a coach, to be on that stage and watch and all the talent. I can name some of the players that we played against and beat. That you're like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like for myself, I'm just like, man, how did we pull that one off? You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. So to see you out there, like in a sense, living your dream and having fun, you know what I mean, while you
Oh,
inspire, that's
all I'm
the
trying to do, get one chance at it, really. So gotta go all the way.
that is true. That is true. I want to make sure, like I said, I did for us. It is. I had a few questions that I had sent to you. I want to make sure that I hit those questions on top of just the rapid ones that I normally do, like say unscript, and just come off the top and just have conversation because that's really what it is, right? It's just
Right.
that building that relationship, and that's something I feel like that really makes the podcast or the interview even better because it's a genuine conversation. It's not like, oh, okay, what about this?
Yeah.
And so who is somebody who's somebody you want to meet that you haven't met?
You know, just one off the top of the head, I guess, is somebody like LeBron or just yeah, I'd say LeBron just because off the top of the head. But there's a lot of people like that I appreciate meeting and I like meeting. Like every time I meet somebody, I don't really when I go up to them, they don't even know like how much of a fan I am to them, how professional I try to keep it, and just like
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get the advice and just learn off these people. That's kind of how I try to stay smart. Like like I move, like the way I move, I just
smart.
watch and observe and see how other people are messing up and see how other people doing right, or even learning off myself. Just I try to take it all and just stay smart with this. So with LeBron, he's the greatest player, like greatest player to ever do it, and then he's super smart, just from a business standpoint, from a
Yeah.
player standpoint. If anybody know how to do this type of stuff, it's LeBron. So I would definitely want to meet him too.
Okay. And I know it's just a matter of time. Like I said, it's just you're one of those just all the way around. Like when I say around, all the way around type player, it's from the mental, how you carry yourself. I mean, your game, just a lot of things. You have a vision at 19. That is once I just say is unheard of because I get a chance to work with so many different players of all ages, and that's some of the things that I'm constantly like, okay, let me teach you about the business part, let me teach you about a brand, let me teach you about this and that. But you're locked in, and you're like, okay, this is where I want to go. I want to do this. I want to do that. I know how to carry myself. It's a lot of things. Once again, I just say kudos to your family, to your parents, and even to you, is soaking it in and really learning the business and where you want to go. You know what I mean? Do you have any merchandise or anything like that? Yeah,
Yeah, it's
or you
funny you
got that?
say that. I just did my first mock version. Like I just drew it up and stuff like that. Merch. I'm trying to get it. Hopefully, I can get a sample version done by tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow or early Saturday. So I'm gonna try to wear it into. And it's my first sponsored tournament, and then
Smart.
I'm gonna put it out there, and then see how many people will wear it, and then get my first dropout soon, way sooner than I expected. Just
Yeah.
I wasn't even. I always thought about doing the clothing brand. Even the last time I started getting some attention and stuff, but I didn't really execute off of the attention I was getting the last time. But that's okay because I was able to learn a lot over until my next time came. So now seeing how much support I have and how many people like really want to help and be a part of my journey is like okay. I think people would actually want to support that too. So
Yeah.
definitely trying to get that soon.
Yeah, no, I mean you making all the right moves. You know what I mean, and that's the smart. You like definitely get it. As soon as you get it out there, I believe that they're gonna knock, beat down your door trying to. Hey, I want this, I want that. So once you get it, let me know because I gotta get one so I can support.
I got
That's one of the things that uh, I definitely want to do. Like I said, we're gonna have an ongoing relationship. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Because I love, I just love everything about you, just what you stand for, just what I mean, the passion that you have, not just for the game, and just being able to use your testimony, use your life, what I mean, to help other people. You know what I mean? And I think that's really dope. And like I told you in the text, is like, hey, which I mentioned before, is just it's personal. It's like, what I mean? When I look at my son and I see how he's been able to inspire people in music. Folks
Yeah.
to be like, "Oh wow, this and that," and I'm like, "Yeah,
See,
that's
look,
what I'm
so many
saying."
ways. That's all I'm trying to get people to realize. Like you never know who you could be. Nah, I didn't even know who I could be. Still might not know how big I would be too. Like I'm just you never know until it starts happening. You just gotta make it happen.
Right? Are you the only child?
No, no, not at all. I got 7 younger siblings looking up.
Oh
Yeah, big
wow!
7 younger siblings. We all, all talented, all smart for our age, just trying to lead the way, set a good example for sure. We all got
That's
to do it.
dope. Yeah, no, I love it. That is, man. I mean, a great big brother that you are, a great example. You know what I mean? That they have a role model. And once again, I gotta continue to just give you shout outs because of the fact that, you know, just how you think and just understanding the influence that you have. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it. It means a lot.
Oh, and like I said, likewise, thank you for not only just being on the podcast, but even willing to come out and play and just have a relationship because like I said, you are I just can't wait because I know it's going to happen real soon. All of a sudden, you're going to be like, yo, coach, you know what I mean? Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
for real.
sexy. You know what I mean? We
Look,
did the podcast on the first, and now here it is. You're traveling the world and you're speaking and, playing. Do you do training? What are the things do you want to do once as this platform opens up for you, right? What are the things do you want to do outside of just playing the game?
um, like I said, really, I like speaking. Like I like you know, I like talking with kids. Like I like
Okay.
really like I just look back at like my younger selves because no matter like what challenges we had to face during our childhood or like whatever would be going on, there'd be times where like you might need a certain person to talk to.
Yeah.
Um, I think I look at a lot of different kid situations and stuff like that, and I pay attention to like people's character and like how they grew up. Like I take all that into account, and I have a real special spot for just like kids, or whether it's even disabled people too. Anybody with a disability, or just feel like they're out of shape, or just anything discouraging, anything like that. Like that, I want to speak. I want to be able to like just not even just talk to people, not even on a sports, not even in a sports language, like just person to person. If they just
Okay.
listen to me speak, I could one on one, whatever I can make videos about, just listen. They can just listen. Like you never know who I might, help, who needed to hear that, who needs to talk to me, all types of stuff like that. And I'm sure there's a lot more people who would want to be a part of something like that. So you never know how many directions it could go.
No, I agree. And that's what, like why I ask the question so people can really get to see and know you, understand your mindset, right? Because it's one of those, like one of the little script or tags, it's bigger than basketball. So it is so much bigger than basketball. It's just saying basketball is just a tool that God is allowing us to go and meet different people, travel the world and do things. But I would say life, there's a message that's in us, you know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I hear as you're speaking, that you want to be able to share this message, and it's bigger than, like you said, from one of the things I look at is from the disability, outside of having disability, there's no limits. You're just like, hey, I want to be able to be an ear, because a lot of times people just sometimes just need some a listening ear. Sometimes just be able
Yeah,
to vent and things like that. And so you making yourself available in all of these realms, I think it's major and it's very important. And so that's why, like I said, just ask certain questions just so people can get to know who D2Shifty is.
yeah.
Because, like you said, as you, good Lord, nigga, racing out here as they
I'll be right
continue.
there here too.
Yeah, Vegas. So, are you from Vegas?
Yeah, I'm from here for sure. Yeah, I got a
Okay,
Chicago family Chicago family for the most part. We be out here too, so I like it out here. It's cool, but I didn't travel too much. Like I just started traveling a little recent in my adult years, so trying to keep going as we see right now.
okay. What are some of the places would you like to go?
Um, well, I never thought about going out the country. Like this is
Okay,
like I told you how crazy it sounds just even talking about these possible opportunities. But like I like LA just like on a business standpoint too. Like I feel like LA is like a good spot to be at in this field. Like it's so many opportunities in LA. Even out here kind of too. Like it's just a lot of opportunity. Um like Atlanta's another good one.
okay,
Just because there's a lot of I know a lot of people in this field and a lot of big names that stay in these big type of places for a reason. Like it's better for their field. I think those places like really help with what I'm trying to do.
okay.
On top of the traveling and stuff too. We obviously gotta travel, but like, LA, Georgia, Florida. There's a few places. I never really thought too deep on it. I'm open for a lot of places though, for sure.
Definitely gotta get your passport. Gotta
Yeah,
get your
sure.
passport.
I'm already on it. Definitely, I'm already on it.
Get your
But
passport. There's a couple of places I can think of off the top of my head that, man, would love to get you out. That Japan has a big street ball, um, and pro circuit. You know what I mean, on both sides. London, my people in London hoops. They're one of the blue cage. So I think it's certain places that I'm like, oh, okay,
that's
here's
crazy.
so that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, once we get the passport, then we can start talking about overseas opportunities and saying, okay, what you want to do? You want to go to a park, or do you want to go to the hardwood? Which one you want to play on? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's it. Make some calls and get it set up. And like you
100%.
said, so that's what I said. We're gonna be doing a lot of working together and just building, because like I say, the options is unlimited. you know what I mean, of what we can do, and just the ability and the fact that you do want to also speak. And that's something, as the ambassador, I go around and now I'm speaking. I do camps and do things like that. And I think you'd be a great, you know what I mean, say, addition or a person to take along with and let you speak to so many people because of your message. Um, I think it's something that needs to be heard. You know what I mean? And so yeah, my man. So yes, we got a lot of work to do on the back end, and so once again, I want to, before we get off, how can people follow you, reach you if they want to talk to you? How can they do that?
Just my name right here, d2hiftyyy on all platforms. I get to you on Instagram, TikTok, no matter. Like, I got it all now. So definitely just reach out, hit the follow, subscribe, all that stuff. And I appreciate you for having me on here too. Can't wait to work.
Yeah,
Really exciting. Shout out the ambassador. Yes, sir.
appreciate it. Man, like I said, this is just the first. Um, like I said, I just wanted to do the podcast because we had to get your story. And now we got your story out. Now it's time to go to work. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
ready.
Like I said, for those who's gonna see the interview, y'all, everybody in the Northwest, Zeke in, y'all know, Isaiah Thomas, Kitsap Admirals, we're there. You will get a chance to see D2 in person, watch him play, get to meet him. And then, of course, on the back end, we're going to talk. I'm probably set up some, y'all know me, I'm always trying to set up some kind of speaking or camp or something. So while he's here, y'all will get to meet him. And then, yeah, from there, once he get the passport, that's going to open up to a lot more things. My countries from Japan to London to all of those. I definitely will be reaching out to them. And so, low
Yeah.
key, for those who's watching them, as y'all can see, I'm recruiting and putting together my new family, my street ball, the pro family of players that I can be able to pull and put together, put on a team, let them play 1v1, 2v2, whatever it may be. And so this is D2 is one of the players that I will be working with, and y'all will get to see um, Hardwood Park, wherever y'all want to see him at. He's ready. You know what I mean?
For
So,
sure.
man, thank you for reaching out and for, who would have thought, you know what I mean? You
Man,
know.
crazy. I'm telling you, like, all this is all new to me and it's crazy. It's happening really quick too, as you see. So it's like I'm just moving with it, soaking it all in, really.
Right. And that's why I said it's going to happen even faster because I already know with just this podcast alone, and I'm sure definitely not the biggest one you're going to ever be on, but with mine alone, we have, we're on all major platforms. You know what I mean? So shout out to Blazing 420, which is my basically partner or parent company that puts us on all the major platforms. And so everybody's going to get to see this. And then once we start to get video together, that's going to be a whole another story. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I already know it's gonna be a lot of other people. You're gonna have more, like million views here, million views there. But I'm okay. I wait my turn, and whatever we get to do. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta show this. Says we love to see a young man on the come up. Oh yes.
Oh yeah, that's my girlfriend. Yeah, shout out Shy.
Hey.
W
Yeah.
W.
And so, like I said, this is where we at. This is the first. We will talk. Let me know once you get your t-shirts, all of that stuff. Give me the video, all any kind of video or stuff you want, you know what I mean, to repost, shoot me stuff. I'll share it on the Street Ball the Pro site and the Admirals, all of that, just to help to continue to get behind you.
Perfect.
And like I said, you have, you know a mentor, a fan, a friend, a coach, all of those things that is very important when it comes to life and in this business. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I'm gonna make sure around me. That I'm gonna look out for you. You know what I mean? And if it's something that it may be a little shaky, I'm gonna let you know. You know what I mean? That's just one of the things. Once again, I'm known for in the business is just the integrity and just really trying to make sure I take care of my peoples. And so we're gonna be tough and tight as we go through this journey together. And man, continue to keep inspiring me, the world, and everybody that you touch. Uh, it's been a pleasure to meet you and now to get to work with you. Like to
Yes,
be
sir. It's a
honest,
pleasure, 100%. I appreciate you again for sure. It's not the last time.
yes, it's definitely not the last time. Hey, and we want to thank everybody for tapping into Live and Unscript. I'm the ambassador, and this is my young bull. D2Shifty. If y'all don't know, look him up. He's really like that. Y'all know I'm not gonna just co-sign anybody, you know what I mean? And we go back and say the tough part about it is, like you said at the beginning, which is true, with a prosthetic leg, he's hooping better than players that don't have a prosthetic leg. Like he's really a hooper like that. So that's the reason, one of the reasons that I wanted to bring him on because of the fact that his story is amazing. He's really a hooper like that. He has a dream, he has a vision, and I know he is one of those players I put my stamp on and say he can play with the best of them. So, man, I look forward to working with you, D.
I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna get back with you for sure right after this.
All right, sounds
Thank you,
good for me.
everybody, for coming out too. I appreciate all the support from everybody.
Thank you all, and we're tapping to y'all real soon.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a good one.
You too.